Hello there and welcome to our EdTech Tuesdays. Today we're going to be learning about differentiation mid-EC, harnessing the power of DIffit. Just some housekeeping rules. Make sure you keep your mic muted. Please feel free to type questions in the chat. I'll be checking the chat throughout the session. And if I'm not able to see what you typed in the chat, feel free to unmute yourself and let me know if you have any questions as well. If you have not registered on the professional development system, please do so by registering to session 361344, or just click on the link that I placed on the chat a little bit earlier. Remember to use remote checking code PSJA Tech on the PD system. So we're going to be talking about DIffit. And what is DIffit? DIffit is a tool that allows you to create activities for your students. And there's different ways to use it. I will be sharing with you the slides after the presentation, and I'm going to be going through the slides first, and then we're going to go live on DIffit. So like you see here, you can generate resources for your students from literally anything. So you can create grade level resources based on any search query. You can link an article, paste text, upload a URL, even a link from a YouTube video that you want to create activities for it after you watch it with your students. Once you enter the content, you select the grade level, select the output, and DIffit will use their AI to generate simplified text, fluency passages, vocabulary lists, questions, and a lot more. The content that DIffit creates you can export it into different variety of resources, like it can be created into a PowerPoint, a Google slide, a PDF. Also, it can be created into Google Forms. Now, some of the things that I'm talking about right now, it's for the premium version of DIffit, but I'm going to be talking about the free version mainly today. So worksheets. DIffit has worksheets on various topics, which can be exported into Google Docs, Sheets, Slides, and PowerPoint. The export on the content, it depends on the activity. And there's different activities that we can focus on reading, on writing, and you can even customize the content and add more activities or remove some activities before you export them. So for example, this is about item analysis, image analysis. So you can put into DIffit the topic that you want, and it will create it, and then it will get your activities in there, and then you're able to customize them before you export the activity. In here, when you see the different activities and contents that it creates in the activity, in this resource that it created, you get an image, and then you get in here instructions on what you notice about the image so your students can type in there. This is easy to create into a Google Slides that you can share in Google Classroom. So you can create one copy for each student, and they're able to write in them and submit them to you. It has graphic organizers, a reading to take notes, a multiple choice question that it can stay there on Google Slides, or you can also create it, like I said, into a Google form. These are some of the activities that are in DIffit. From images, you can caption that image. You can get multiple choice questions. And here on the top, you can see that you can create graphic organizers, short answer, vocabulary, open-ended questions. There's a plethora of resources in here. Another way that you can do it, now it has books. There are book resources that are in there. You type the name of the book. You can start from a specific chapter, end in a specific chapter, or use the whole book. You can also align it to standards, and you can customize your resources as well by selecting the grade level and the language. This is an example of Charlotte's Web and how some of the resources that are created in here, it gives you an image automatically, and then you have the summary of the book in here, and then you can still customize some of the areas of the summary, like the length, remove content, the writing style, the tense that is utilized, and then in here you can print it, make it into a Google form or a Google Doc. You can export those activities once you decide that those are all the activities that you want. Export them into a Google slide, share it directly into Google Classroom, download it as a PDF, or export it as a PowerPoint. From here, one of the favorite parts now, this is for premium, and what I put also before, you can see that exporting to a PDF or printing is free, but if you're going to be exporting to Google Slides, Google Classroom, or a PowerPoint, unfortunately, these are paid features. So one of the paid features that I really like was also to export the activity automatically into a Google form, but you do have to go into the customized activity part, and I'll show you once we go live into DIffit how you do this. And then it creates the questions with the answers, not only multiple choice, but you can select short response or open-ended questions. Now, I know that I've said there's premium features that I really like, but right now there is this link that I will share with you that you will get free DIffit Premium for the rest of the semester. That is right. You will get free DIffit Premium for the rest of the semester. And the link, I'm putting it right on the chat right now. You can feel free and use it. Or if not, once I put the PowerPoint slides, which I might well ahead just post it in there, and you will have access to this code as well in the PDF of the slides. So let's go live into DIffit. You go into DIffit, and this is the home screen where you can just type literally anything that you need, a topic, a theme, or a question. Now in here, there's an example of gravity. So let's just go and put gravity. And you can align it to science standards. Let's focus on 3rd grade. Now, if you're going to be aligning it to the standard, it's also part of the premium. So feel free to use this right now while you are using that premium version for the rest of the spring semester. So I'm going to set the standard and demonstrate and describe the forces acting on an object, which will go into gravity. So we get the standard. I'm going to leave it on 3rd grade. You can do it into an informational text or a fictional text. Let's do a fictional test in here. So now it's working its magic with AI and creating these activities. Now they are, a lot of them are worksheets, but you can customize it, and you can put it directly into Google Classroom. The worksheets will be on Google Slides where your students can interact with them and submit them to you. But like I said, a lot of the quizzes are transferable to Google Forms. And again, this is free for you right now if you sign up with that code for the DIffit Premium. Now, in here in the adaptive passage, it gives you what the students can read. You can customize this now to make it longer. You can make it medium. You can make it custom, whatever length you want. So I'm going to make it into 3 to 4 paragraphs and adjust the length. It shows you what the current text is and now the new text in there. Now this helps you with differentiation because you can create the same activity and then change it if you have students that are below level or at higher level if you want to challenge them a bit more. Again, with the customization, you can change the writing style. You can also change the temp, add and remove content, or you can go directly and edit it. So you go in here and remove or add words. Another activity created here is just a summary of the passage that the students will be reading. The vocabulary board's automatically created from the passage, and some question banks for multiple choice questions that you can add and create quizzes for your students after having this activity with them, short answer questions, open-ended prompts, and you can also add other activities. So I'm going to click here and put Get Student Activities. So it has different activities in here. So we can select into Read and Summarize, 3-to-1 Learning Reflection. We can go into Google Form Quiz, a printable doc for questions, or the 5 W's. In the basic area, you get Read and Take Notes. You can also have in here the Summarize the Learning. The other section is just vocabulary and dealing with those vocabulary words in the passage, and strategies for reading and strategies for writing. You can analyze the text, And then you can put them to collaborate and have group discussions with your students about this passage that was created for you by Diffit. A lot of critical thinking flowcharts, and as well as some activities that you can give it to your students. One of the fun ones in here is a character phone design that it will be very interactive and fun for your students. So let me just go back and select the 1, 2, 3 reading summary, and it creates the activities. On the left-hand side, you will see all the different types of activities that is created. The first one that it does is image analysis. It gives you this image, and then it said, look at the image and write down 2 things that you notice. Key details, main ideas. If you don't like that image, you can also change it. Remember, you can go and customize the activity, and you can customize the order of the contents of the activities themselves. Now you can add section by clicking in here, and if you want to add a different activity that has not been, or another worksheet like the character phone design, we can add it into the resources, and then it will be added to your contents. Now, for exporting to Google Forms, you will have to go in here into the answer and explain area, and you will have to go to edit content. Once you're in here, it gives you all of the content from all of the activities that it was created. But like you see here, you can export it to Google Forms, and it's the whole activity. I don't recommend exporting everything, but you can select what to export. So you can, the summary, if you want to include the summary of the passage, the short answer questions, if you want to make them into the Google Forms. But just note that short answer and open-ended prompts, if your students are going to be responding to those and typing that in, you will have to go and read them to be able to answer. The multiple choice, you can't select the correct answer for those questions, so it will be done automatically. So you can add the title image. I'm going to take it out. I'll keep the vocabulary words. I'm going to keep the adaptive reading passage, and maybe just keep the short answer questions, but take out the open-ended prompts, and I'm going to export it. You can open it into Google Form or share it directly into Google Classroom. And this is the passage that the students are reading. You can create it in the other worksheets that were in there. But if you want to do it as a Google Classroom quiz, you add it here. You can put it. You can take it out. These are the vocabulary words. I decided to keep them. But here are the multiple choice questions. And it is automatically created. It tells you which one is the correct answer for you, so you don't have to work on that. Now, remember, if you're going to make it into a quiz, you do have to select which ones are required. That is not automatically done. And then you have here the short answer questions, and it's ready for you to share with your students. I'm going to go back here, and I'm going to put return to activity. This brings me back to all the selection of worksheets and activities in here. And I'm going to select export activity. Now this will generate it to give you the option on to either download it, print it, make it into a PowerPoint, share it into Google Classroom, or open into Google Slides. If you open it into Google Slides, this is what you will get. The summary and the instruction page. Then you get in here the image analysis, what you learned, and then you have the part of reading and take notes. So the students will be reading in here. Remember, if you share this in Google Classroom, your students can get a copy individually, so they're able to edit and submit for you. Then you do have here the multiple choice questions. If you rather do this instead of doing it into Google Forms, the students will have to type the response, but you can have the option to explain why they picked that answer. So it might give you more feedback for you to see if they're understanding the topic, and you will have to score it and see what your students responded. There's also the short answer, reflect and response, reflect and discuss, and that's pretty much all the activities that you put together. Now you realize that you wanted to maybe add an activity for working together. So maybe we go in here and we put collaboration. Well, this one didn't have a collaboration in it. I'm going to go back to export the activity. And just wanted to show you again to share into your Google Classroom directly. It will bring it, you will select your class, and then it brings it into a Google slide directly. Now you can make it into points. Now remember, if you're going to give them points, you do have to go there and score them. But when you're here, if you're going to make sure that your students each have a copy, you have to select here and make a copy for each student. If you don't do this, your students won't get a copy and they won't be able to submit it individually. I'm going to go back to Diffit itself. And now I wanted to show you real quick the book section. And I'm going to go back to let's do A Christmas Carol. And you select here the chapters. Let's do from chapter 1. And let's just keep it chapter 1, and we'll keep it for 5th grade. Keep it in English, ELA. And we want to select a TEK or a standard. And I'm going to pick Make Connections to Personal Experiences. So actually, we can select more. Author's purpose. And I was able to select 3. I'm going to generate the resource. And here it is. It gives you the summary for that chapter, which is Marley Was Dead. Like I said, you can customize it, make it differently. There's a summary. There are the vocabulary words in here, multiple choice questions, and which TEK they're actually aligning to, short answer questions, and open-ended prompts. You can turn it into the resources that are already student ready. We can do the 3-to-1 reflection, the reading summary, or you can go and select your own activities that you want to do. So like I said, you can do collaboration, you can do partner share, discuss with the group, reflect and discuss. I'm going to pick discuss with your group. And this was already created for you automatically from the book. And you can customize it or export the activity. And like I said before, you can open it in Google Slides, share it automatically in Google Classroom. I feel like if you're ready to share with your students, this might be the best way to do it, because then you don't have to get it and find the Google slide after you save it. It automatically puts it in there for you if you already worked on it. The next area of Diffit that I wanted to talk to you about is the YouTube link. I'm going to go and pick a link about a YouTube video on the water cycle. So in here, I'm selecting also the standards, and I'm going to put water. And will be the one. I'm setting that standard. I'm going to keep it with 5th grade English. You can make it in 5th grade Spanish. You can generate your resources. And just like that, you have the image that come in here from the video. It actually included other images about the water cycle. And then it adapted the reading passage of what's said in the YouTube video. It gives you a summary of the YouTube video, the vocabulary words in here, multiple choice questions, short answer questions, and open-ended prompts. Again, you can select in here already built read activities. You can get student activities in here. If you go into the basic area, you can see some of the interactive slides that are already there, Google Form quiz created for that, or print and save as a PDF. You can use critical thinking as well. And let's select maybe causes and effect. So now we have the sections of the image analysis, the key vocabulary word, causes and effect of the water cycle is automated populated. If you're ready for this and you like it, you can go ahead and just export it, or you can customize it. Let's say that you do like the image, you do like the vocabulary, the graphic organizer, and the reading, but you want to leave the multiple choice, the short answer, and the open-ended, maybe for a Google form. So you will go into edit the activity, click the Google form first, select those. We'll leave the title image. We can leave, let's take out the open-ended prompts, the vocabulary, the summary, and just leave the multiple choice questions and the short answer questions. Then this automatically gives you already an assessment for your students to know, for you to get the knowledge of this activity. And then the rest of this, you return to the activity and you can delete those assessment parts of the activity and assign this so we can get rid of the multiple choice, the short answer, the open-ended question, and then we can export and save the activity. I'm going to open it in Google Slides so we see how the students will see it. They get the instruction page. You get the image analysis, the key vocabulary words, cause and effect, read and take notes. And then after that, once you're done with this activity, you can just grab that Google form that you created before and also assign it to your students so you can get some grades about the water cycle and the whole topic that you selected. These are also like you grab the text you uploaded and it will create activities. You can also get vocabulary lists, so you can enter your own vocabulary lists in here and it will create activities with that. But I feel like the literally anything books, an article, or YouTube link for you to be able to create and generate those activities was mainly what I wanted to go through and share with you. And one last thing, just make sure if you have any questions, you want to see any of our YouTube videos, you can go to our YouTube channel and feel free to send us any message. Me and Debbie are here to support you. If you have any questions right now, feel free to put them on the chat. And while you guys are doing that, or you can unmute yourself now. And while you're doing that, I'm going to go ahead and bring in